Portrait of a man who possesses the keys to the kingdom, but lacks the will to turn the lock. Meet a celestial architect who traded his stardust for a stained overcoat and the hollow comfort of a chemical haze. He holds the power to reshape reality with a whisper, yet his only offerings are the bitter scent of deviled eggs and a handful of losing lottery tickets. He is not a prisoner of a lamp or a bottle, but of a singular, devastating habit that has turned a cosmic miracle into a mundane tragedy. In this hall of concrete and fluorescent hum, infinite potential has been bartered for the finite relief of a fix. Submitted for your approval, a master of the universe, who is currently out of magic, I give you SCP-1481. Item Number: SCP-1481. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1481 is to be kept in a securely locked safe on the second floor of Site. Site security is to remain on standby in proximity to tests conducted on SCP-1481. Description: SCP-1481 is a plastic, recyclable coffee cup. SCP-1481 rests in an inactive state until it is physically rubbed by a sapient being. When SCP-1481 is rubbed, it will enter its active phase, in which it manifests a spectral humanoid, hereby referred to as SCP-1481-1. SCP-1481-1 manifests dressed in multiple coats and torn jeans, all of which are likewise spectral, but seem to nonetheless be stained with a variety of unknown substances. SCP-1481-1 is a nervous tick, which occurs every few minutes. Once SCP-1481-1 is manifested, it will offer to grant an unlimited number of wishes to the individual who causes it to manifest. However, SCP-1481-1 is largely non-compliant with said wishes, and will often ignore them, wrongly claim to have already fulfilled them, or produce an outcome which bears only a slight resemblance to the one requested. SCP-1481-1 has made a variety of requests, which are typically for alcohol, recreational drugs, money, or warm food. Addendum: Tests were conducted by Dr. The goal of the test was to establish a general knowledge of the capabilities of SCP-1481-1. Log of tests with SCP-1481. Item requested: 1 sandwich. Result: SCP-1481-1 manifested a sandwich, which it promptly ate. Item requested: a winning lottery ticket. Result: SCP-1481-1 manifested a losing lottery ticket. Item requested: a 100-carat diamond. Result: 100 grams of coal. SCP-1481-1 assured personnel that the coal was pure diamond. Item requested: the meaning of life. Result: SCP-1481-1 laughed hysterically for 3 minutes and 14 seconds, then claimed to have forgotten what had just been requested. Subsequent requests for this item produced the same result. Item requested: the means to achieve unlimited energy. Result: SCP-1481-1 manifested 1 deviled egg, which it promptly ate. Interview Log 1481-1-2. Dr. Hello, SCP-1481-1. SCP-1481-1. Hey there, young feller. SCP-1481-1. I have some questions for you. SCP-1481-1 stared to the south wall of the interview chamber for 6 minutes and 9 seconds before answering. You ever notice how white this wall is? I feel like it's got so much meaning. In relation to the items you are able to manifest, where do you take said items from? I know a good guy who A guy who knows a guy, you know? How? SCP-1481-1 interrupts Dr. Enough damn questions! Man, I just need a taste. Just a taste. You just can't order me to tell you stuff. If you get me like, I don't know, say 30, 40 grams of the good stuff or something, come on man, please. SCP-1481-1 was provided with 40 grams of methamphetamine, which it promptly consumed. Upon consuming the methamphetamine, SCP-1481-1 began to speak, and continued speaking for 5 hours and 23 minutes. Much of what SCP-1481-1 said during this time was incomprehensible word salad, interspersed with profanity, and a large quantity of what are assumed to have been logorrheic neologisms. A full transcript of this word salad is available on Document 1481-RL51. One particular passage has been retained in this report, as it may provide clues to the origin of SCP-1481-1. Excerpt of speech from SCP-1481-1. So there I was, right in front of this guy, waiting for him to make his fucking wishes, and he looks at me and he says, for my first wish, he says, he fucking wishes for me to be a fucking alcoholic junkie tweaker crackhead. And then he says that his second wish is that the first wish couldn't be unwished. And then he just walks off. I don't understand it. I really don't. So now my whole fucking life is ruined. I used to give kings whatever they wanted, you know? I used to live in palaces. Now I got no friends. Just the cold nights and the hard ground and nowhere to lay my head down, and I... Interview Log 1481-1-7 Dr. SCP-1481-1. I was wondering, yeah? If you have these powers, why don't you just manifest the drugs yourself, like you do with the food? SCP-1481-1 begins weeping. Weeping continues for 17 minutes 41 seconds, at the end of which it demanifests and re-enters SCP-1481. No further testing of SCP-1481 has been authorized.